hope you all had a great lunch and just a break. Now I want to dive into the art of refurbishing. And here today we have, if you could share your name and a little bit about you and your company.
Yeah, so my name is Candyce. I own Curious Interiors, which is basically a multifaceted interior decorating company. So not only do I do home styling, but I also operate my vintage boutique, where I source like vintage decor from all over the world, as well as make like small batches of handmade decor. And then I do lots of DIYs. Like I'm a big fan of DIY, so I do a lot of like furniture upcycling and refurbishing.
Yeah. So, how did you, well, first I wanted to ask you, how did you get started with like refurbishing and all that, renovating, or not renovating, refurbishing in DIY?
Yeah, well, okay, honestly, I'm on a budget and I need like really cost-effective ways to furnish my home, like especially in Hawaii. Like when you want like really good pieces, they typically come with a really high price tag and they're not usually here. Like
Yes.
like you have to ship them from like the mainland or whatever, and it's just expensive. So I wanted to like find ways to make pieces that I saw online myself and bring the price point down a little bit. So that was like the main like appeal, and it kind of just like took off from there.
That's awesome. So do you have, so I guess a lot of people right now are at home and they may want to dive into DIY refurbishing, but it's like, sometimes it can be really intimidating. What do you like recommend for people to start with, or what kind of projects can they do?
Yeah, my first advice would be like not to get overwhelmed, because especially if you're like diving into it for the first time, like you're learning so many new skills, and you know, I'm not even really an expert either. Like I learn every single time I do a new project. So that would be my first tip, is don't get overwhelmed. And secondly is to just like start off small. Like start with, I would start with like a upholstery project. So maybe you have like a dining chair or like a side chair or something like that, maybe even like a bar stool that you can just like easily reupholster the fabric or something like that. So start like super, super little. And even with like those smaller projects, there's so many resources online for different ways that you can do it, that you don't necessarily need like a high skill level or anything like that. So yeah, start small.
Start small, okay. Well, reupholstery sounds intimidating to me, but I'm gonna try that. Yeah.
I don't even know how to sew, honestly. I want to learn, but I don't know how to. But I've done so many reupholstering projects without that skill at all. So
It's like a stapler and like cushion.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not as scary as it sounds, I swear.
Okay. um, do you have any like projects that you have done that maybe you could share with us and kind of show us like the process? Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me share my screen with you. So I have a dresser that I actually made over, and it was a really, really fun project. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this first picture on the left is a dresser that I saw at the Salvation Army, actually. And it's real wood, but it's just like a little bit beat up, and obviously it's like missing some knobs here. But you know, real wood always has potential to be made over, and that's like a really big tip that I have, is to look for that specifically rather than like pressed wood or like fiberboard and stuff like that. So yeah, and you know, I brought it home and kind of just like got to work on it, and you know, sanded everything down, and painted it, filled up all the nicks and stuff like that, and it was just like a really like fun project to do that didn't really require a high skill level either. Like it's mainly just like painting, kind of like getting rid of the like things that are, you know, not as aesthetically pleasing on it. And
Yeah. Always sand first and then repaint.
yeah, sand and just like fill up the nicks and stuff like that. And then from there, you have such a clean base to then do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see. Oh, can you share do you have the after picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
After all styled and stuff like that, we kept the top like the natural wood color, but just stained it a little bit darker. So it contrasted really well against like that darker green color. And it just came out so nice.
And do you put like anything on top of the paint or like what is the last coat? I'm terrible.
Yeah, you can put like a polyurethane
Yeah. Okay.
everything, and it'll last for a really long time.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I feel like I paint things and then I don't put anything over it. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's really fun. And painting, like, honestly, isn't always my favorite thing to do because it takes so long.
Yeah.
But like if you do it in phases, like say one day you put like the first coat and like you wait another day to do the next, like you can kind of like break up the steps that you want to do things at, so it's not like as overwhelming.
Right. And do you have tips on like well, where do you get like your paint and all that and
Yeah, the paint is actually left over from an accent wall that I did in an old bedroom. And I feel like a lot of people have leftover paint lying around.
yes.
Like, check that out and see if like that color will match like your existing decor and things that you have in your space already. A lot of the times it does. So yeah, you can do that, or of course you can just like, you know, pick up some paint chips from the hardware store and do it that way as well.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes they have a lot of like discounted ones, right? People return. Yeah.
Like even if they like slightly damaged too, it's like discounted. So yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure like everyone could probably like find something that they could refurbish at home and just with a little bit of sandpaper and paint, and then you got those knobs, right? You
Yeah.
fix that.
Yeah, the hardware is from Amazon too, so also very inexpensive.
Where do you shop for a lot of your like items you want to refurbish or
Well, it depends on the piece. A lot of it is kind of the same places that everyone else goes, like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and like Salvation Army and Goodwill and stuff like that. I like to look for pieces that are obviously otherwise gonna head out the door, or you know get thrown in a landfill or something like that.
yeah.
It's a good way to like bring those things back to life.
I love that. Okay. Are there any other okay, yeah, okay. Any other tips that you have like I guess while people are at home and you know, how do you invest in your home right now and like what can you share with others?
Um, well, I guess my first like kind of like or three like advice pieces that I would give is again looking for like real wood pieces, and you know those are made to last forever, and they're gonna last a lifetime. So bringing those back to life it's gonna pay like for itself for years to come. So start there.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, look for like reupholstery pieces for beginners to start with, because you're going to find a lot of resources on that online. And yeah, vintage and antiques brings a lot of character to your home. So yes, definitely start there.
Yeah, like mix it up, right?
Yeah, it's good to like get a good get a good array of like different types of pieces in your house.
What kind of style would you say you like to decorate with?
Um, it's funny because I like so many different styles. Like one day it's like, I guess, super modern, and the next day it's like fully boho. So like, yeah, there's like so much pressure to like put yourself in like a specific box of like what your style should be. But I say like whatever you like, or like whatever you're feeling or matches your personality or that of your family's, then that's what you should do. And like just you don't need to necessarily go for one thing. Like try it all.
Yeah, I like that quote you had posted on your Instagram about never finding your style or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's like how you should go or how you should live.
yeah, I'm like, that's so great because I think some people will like think like, okay, you can only do this style or only do this or only match these two styles, but really it's like how you feel. It's your home, you can create whatever style you want. And it looks great when you actually mix them together.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many different styles out there, and like, truthfully, I don't think everyone really knows exactly what type of decor items are supposed to go with each
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's whatever you feel.
Yeah, totally. So how has it been? Have you been doing a lot of refurbishing or projects while you've been in quarantine?
Yes, a lot. I sort of, like, whenever I fully finish a space or like a specific area of my home, it lasts for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I want to change it. So like just constantly like redesigning, and of course I get a lot of stuff because of my vintage or my online vintage boutique, but I also just like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like changing things up like keeps things like super fresh in your mind, especially since you're spending so much time at home.
Yeah, I mean, I remember recently you also shared, like I like what you do, like you find things that aren't perfect, like you repurpose it. Like it was your, what was it, the palm tree knobs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I found these like little napkin rings that had like these big, and they were real brass too, but like they're little brass like palm trees on it. And I like ripped off the ring and was like, okay, I can make this into knobs. And it was like, I don't know, maybe $1 or so per little thing. Yeah, lots of like little like touches like that makes like things so cool.
Yeah, so we could find something and use it for something else. It doesn't, repurpose it for in our house somewhere. We just have to get creative. We don't have to spend a lot of money to get a new look. Yeah.
Totally. I recently did, I had this like basket laying around, and I wish I had a picture of it, but if you check out my Instagram, you can find it there. I like had this basket that I got from the Salvation Army as well, and it was only a couple of dollars, but I was able to make it into a pendant light.
Yes.
So
Oh,
imagining stuff is just like so powerful.
you're inspiring me to do this. Do it again. I think I haven't done a project, I guess, for specifically for me. I've done it with my kids, but not for our house. But yeah, I love that. I love those baskets and those pendant lights. They can cost you hundreds of dollars. Because I'm looking at them, I'm like, okay, this is a big investment.
You're like, okay, I gotta like save up to justify that before I can go for it.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone, I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money to redecorate your house. First, like, what do you think? Find pieces in your home. Try to figure out ways to repurpose them, or and just a little bit of paint and sandpaper, you can like refurbish any piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Curbside, like if you're driving on the side of the road and you see something that's like not super beat up, like maybe just like go for it and see what happens.
Yeah. It's not going to cost anything.
Exactly.
Right? Just where it takes you. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, thank you so much, Candice. Is there anything else you wanted to share with everyone, and let us know like the best way they can contact you? I know you have actually multiple sites, so for different purposes. You want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the best way to contact me would be following me on Instagram at Curious by Candice. I do a lot of projects on there. I swear I do like at least a project like every other day. So keep up with me on there. And my website actually recently launched as well. So you can go on there. It's at curioushawaii.com.
Mm.
Blogging about my different DIYs that I do as well, and sharing like the step by step of how you can like achieve those looks, which is a really good resource too. Yeah, and then as far as advice, like I said, just don't get too overwhelmed by the different projects that you want to do. Just like go for it and like learn as you go. And my second advice would be to start with getting inspired. So look for like wherever you shop right now, like go on like Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn or West Elm, any of those places, and look at furniture pieces that like you like, but regardless of the price tag that it comes with, and see how you can like recreate that for your home. Because you want it to be something that you're gonna like, you're gonna want to keep, not something that's like just a DIY or just something that just to see if you could. So yeah, definitely start with that.
Okay, that's good advice. I know with the high prices, I just can't. It's like the shipping is just as much as the product.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes me not want to do it at all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we have to get creative in Hawaii. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing all these tips, and and I can't wait to like look at the blog and like learn myself. So, and you do such a great job with like all the tutorials. Like really do like explain it well and easy to follow along. So, thank you, Candice.
Thank you. This was super fun. I hope everyone's getting a lot out of all of the information today.
Oh yes, definitely.